So here's Fred. Fred is our llama we inherited, about, I'm going to say 6 months ago or so. We actually had 2 llamas show up on our property, and they came from an adjoining property down the road a ways to the west, where an older gentleman had he had many llamas, horses, dogs. He decided to sell his property, and instead of properly getting rid of his animals, he just opened the gates and let everything out, including his dogs, to go wherever they would go. So we ended up with 2 of these llamas that just showed up on our pad. Kind of freaked Wendy out the first day they showed up, and subsequently one of them left. We named them Fred and Wilma, and we weren't sure if they were males and females at that point, but we've since determined Fred is a male, and I'm not sure what Wilma was, but Wilma decided to leave, and we heard she went back to the original property, but has since, about 3 weeks ago, got killed and eaten by a mountain lion. So she has met her demise, but Fred seems they're very, I read that the llamas are very social animals, and they like being around other animals. And so he's kind of adopted us, and is here every day. He doesn't let us get within about 10 to 15 feet of him, and he eats nothing but the grass around here, all this dry grass and green grass when in the spring. But I've tried to feed him other things, and he just won't have it. The only bad thing about Fred is he loves eating our plants too, and I'm trying to dissuade him from eating our potted plants in front of the house by hopefully him associating a little bit of pain with eating our plants by shooting him in the butt with a slingshot when I do catch him eating our plants. So, but other than that, he's a character, and we hope he doesn't meet his demise by a mountain lion as well. Well, hello, Pop. Guess what? I'm doing this all over again because I went to find my video files to put them together and send to a complete video to you this morning. And I discovered that apparently while I was doing the video yesterday that I had it in pause and none of it got recorded. So I'm doing it all over again. So I apologize if my video that I will be sending to you is delayed by a day or two, but just proves that I'm getting a little older, I guess. I'm not going to tell my daughter I did that. She'll laugh at me, and my wife. But anyway, I'm going to start all over again, and I want to show you the entire property. I don't want to just show you the house. I kind of want to show you what's going on here. I know you would be interested in that. So we'll start with the solar plant, and I want to show you what we did here and the specifics about it. And I will start by showing you the panels. I'm going to reverse the camera here. So you probably saw these from the drone video I took a while back, but these are our ground-mounted panels. Again, we are totally off-grid. All these panels provide all our power, include with the batteries inside this shed that get us through the night. But we have 48 450-watt panels, which equates to 21.6 kilowatts of available sun power. And these are, Wendy and I did all this work. We installed the ground mounts. We installed every one of these panels. We wired them together, pulled all the wiring into the shed, and the only thing we hired was a experienced solar guy to hook everything up, because I wasn't real confident about doing that and didn't want to destroy some expensive stuff. Before we go in the solar shed, I was going to show you that we also have a 14 kilowatt backup generator. If all else fails and our batteries don't get charged, this will kick on and charge our batteries. And we've only had to use it once or twice in the last, it's been just over 2 years we got this system up and running. And that is when it's fogged in, always during the winter. During the summer, we have plenty of sun to get us through the day. Just more than enough. I purposely oversized the system a bit to ensure that we had plenty of power. And fortunately, my calculations worked. But anyway, this generator, the use of this generator is to charge our batteries in the event there's not enough sun to charge the batteries during the day. And that only happens, as I was saying, when we are totally clouded in here, low clouds, fog for multiple days. We can get by for a day maybe, but we get multiple days of foggy weather. The batteries just don't get charged and they slowly get drained down, and they can go as low as 10% state of charge, but beyond that it's going to damage them. So this generator will kick on and charge them up, but again, we rarely have to use it. All right, we're going to head into the shed now to show you the guts of the system. So this is where the batteries are and the inverters. These are the batteries. There's 3 of them. They're small refrigerator sized batteries, lithium phosphate, the same type batteries that are in the Teslas and stuff like that now. Very efficient batteries, and they work great. They're all tied in parallel, and then go into the 2 inverters. These are 2 12 kW inverters that give us a total of 24 kW of power, and they work great. So far they've been flawless. So just here's the load center, and we got a little deep freezer in here and a refrigerator and some more of my junk. This room is not air conditioned or anything. These inverters were designed to be outdoors with sun beating down on them. I have them indoors, which is a plus. And then the way I keep this room semi-cool is with these automated fans, 2 of them, on temperature control, that really were designed for greenhouses. But I thought they'd work really well to keep airflow going through this building, and they seem to be working fine. There's the controller for them. And there's our Wi-Fi extender so that we can monitor the solar system from our phone. And here's all the wires going in and out of the building. Wendy and I did all that. All the wires going up to the house, to the shop. It was a lot of work, I'm telling you. So that's it for the solar. I'm going to head up to the well right now and show you our well. So here's our well, and this was the very first improvement we made to this land once we bought it. Again, this land was bare. The only thing that was here was a road leading up to this site where we built the house. So we drilled this well back in 2021, and I will tell you it was one of the most nerve-wracking things we've done, because obviously when you drill a well, they charge you money, and you get charged the money whether you hit water or not. So the company that drilled our well was kind of familiar with this area. He estimated we might hit water at 500 feet. So that's what he gave me a quote for, and we said, okay, let's do it. And at that point, we weren't living up here. We had the RV up here, but we would only come up on weekends and such. But we spent the week here that it took for them to drill this well. I think it was about 5 days actually, just to monitor the progress. And very stressful, noisy for one, and stressful when they hit 500 feet and hadn't hit water yet. They use a hammer drilling rig, because just below the surface, about 15 feet down of topsoil, it's total solid granite the rest of the way down, and they just hammer their way through it. So as I was saying, they hit 500 feet, and I'm going to reverse back here so I can talk to you. They hit 500 feet, no water. I said, well, let's go another 100 feet. We went to 600 feet, which equates to several hours of drilling. And they got a little bit of water, but not enough to suffice us. So I said, let's go another 100 feet. We got to 700 feet and hit a little bit more water, but still not enough to suffice. Told them to go another 100 feet down to 800 feet. And we hit enough water to suffice us, which was about 8 gallons a minute. Doesn't sound like a lot, I think when you open your tap at any house and fill a 10-gallon bucket up, it takes well over a minute to do that. So it's enough, but the fact that I'm going to turn back around, send the water out this line and up the hill to the top of this hill, which is the top is exactly 100 feet above the house site. So we have a 2,500 gallon tank up there, and then we gravity feed down from that tank in a 2-inch line to the house, which gives us just under 50 pounds of pressure, which is plenty. So that's how it works. I was going to say something else about the well, but I can't remember what it was. But so it comes on and off via a level switch in the tank as we need water. One of my next projects is to build a shed around this well pad, which will cover all this equipment up and then also give me a little bit extra storage as well. Speaking of projects, another one of my next projects is building a wood pile shed so that we can keep our firewood dry. This is our temporary one that we use while we're living in the trailer, and I have to cover it with a tarp, which gets blown away in the winter time. So I'll be building a shed. As you can see, we have plenty of oak trees, and we have a lot of deadfall oak trees as well. So I'm not cutting any live oak trees down for firewood. I think I have enough deadfall wood still standing to get me through the rest of my life. So all the green trees will stay. Oh, and I was going to show you Fred again here because he's getting ready to take his afternoon siesta, it looks like. Give me a second here. And there he is. This is every day you can set your clock to him coming up to this spot just next to our RV and laying down and taking a little nap right there. Good old Fred. So now we're going to head over to the shop, which well, let me start off with my tractor. We just recently bought a used tractor. I've been needing a tractor this whole process, but they were a lot of money and we just couldn't justify it. So finally, a friend and neighbor up here decided to sell his and gave me a decent price on this one. So I got this 2-3 weeks ago, and it just saves me tons of labor. I love it. It didn't come with this canopy. Last few days built this little canopy to go over the top to keep the sun off my head. And so that's our tractor. This is next to our shop is our 5,000 gallon dedicated firewater tank, which was required by the permit. This gives the fire department access to more water if they show up here to fight a fire, because their trucks only carry about 500 gallons, which, as you can imagine, would only last probably a minute if they were fighting a good fire. So this gives an additional 5,000 gallons. Again, was required by permit and had to have all these special fittings on it. To be proactive, I am going to tap into this line and put a suction line to a water pump that I'm going to buy. And I also have fire hose so that I can fight a fire myself if I need to. So that's another upcoming project. Here's our shop. Wendy and I took delivery of all the materials down the hill at the main road, about a half mile down the road, and had to transport it all piece by piece up here. My original plan was to try to erect it myself, but at that point, this was last April, I was full on in the process of trying to get the house done, and this looked like a lot of work to me. So we bit the bullet and hired a erection company to come out and erect this building, which was probably money well spent. They did a great job. It's basically just a 3-car garage, but I used the third car as my little shop. There's obviously room for both our vehicles in here, and we have a little side-by-side ATV we bought early on just to give us some transportation around the property here. Keep it in here. I also have a log splitter for splitting firewood, and then a brush cutter, a heavy-duty walk-behind brush cutter that cuts the brush down to give us our fire clearances every early summer to keep the brush down around the house. But the main thing is my shop, which I'm so happy to have organized now. I just recently got this done. This whole area was just filled with boxes and unorganized, and it was driving me crazy. And one of the biggest things that just drove me crazy during the building process was my tools. My tools were scattered from here to there. I would use some over here and forget where they were, and they were just scattered everywhere. And I probably could have built this house in half the time if I hadn't spent so much time just searching for tools. So I was very happy to get this all organized. All my tools are in one place now, and I got a free workbench from a neighbor who gave it to me, and I just love being organized with my tools. So if I need a tool, I can just go grab it and go instead of just spending hours looking for them. So that's the shop. Before we go into the house, we also bought a used C-Train for a little bit additional storage for Christmas decorations, other tools that I rarely use, and stuff like that. And there's our not that this is of any interest, but there's our propane tank, which is the only utility we buy. The only thing we bring onto this property that we need is propane. And in a pinch, we wouldn't even need that. We could cook on our wood-fired stove, which you'll see in the house if we needed to. But we use propane, obviously, for the stove and for the water heater and the backup generator. You can see our fire clearances. That you can see the dry brush out there, but you're supposed to have about 100 feet around your house, give or take. And there's areas where we are that, and there's areas where I just don't have access, steep terrain that I can't get to very easily. So, but again, I say again, but I don't know if I told you in the past, this house is very, very fire resistant. This is hardy board siding, cement siding, not very fire resistant, metal roof, and tempered glass windows that won't break when heated. So we have a very good chance of surviving a fire if one came here, especially with the additional equipment I'll have here, and the fact that, we're not in the pine trees. We don't have towering pines above our house like they do higher up in elevation above here. And so we're at much lower risk than those higher up in the forest. It still can happen, and obviously we are still in a fire zone, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get insurance. We are uninsured. I will call it self-insured because we put a little bit of money away every month just for a self-insurance fund in case something happens, in the hopes that we'd have at least some money to recover if something did happen. But God forbid, nothing happens. So I just wanted to show you our house drain system here. This is the septic tank inspection spout here. So we separate our gray water, which comes out this black line here with the hose connected to it, from our black water. The only black water coming out of the house is from the toilets, and the kitchen sink with its garbage disposal is considered black water. So that's the only waste that goes into the septic tank. The rest from the showers and bathroom sinks, so on and so forth, washing machine, come out here, and we water the trees with it. It's water that is not wasted, and these big trees that are near the house, we love them, and they get drought stressed when in drought years, so we supplement their water with our gray water to hopefully keep these trees alive. So that's about it on the outside. I'm going to go in and see if Wendy's ready to show you the inside of the house, and I'll be right back. Another shot of Fred chewing his cud before his nap. Just thought you might enjoy that. So every morning he about the same time, he comes over here, and we just bought these plants to decorate the front of the house. And he yanks this one out of the pot, throws it on the ground, eats. This was a deer-resistant plant as well. We bought deer-resistant plants in the hope that llamas wouldn't eat them. Well, apparently llamas like different fruit, different food than deer. So this is the one he just grabs it, yanks it out, throws it on the ground, and eats a little bit of it. This one he's eaten a few limbs off, but same type plant. But so far he's kind of left it alone. So when I catch him, I hit him in the butt with a slingshot, and I'm hoping he learns. I just wanted to show you these stairs pop. This is my first attempt at building stairs, and they turned out really well. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of showing them off here. I'm proud of them. So, and there's another set in the back I'll show you when we go through the house, but my stairs turned out very well. So here's the front of the house. This front door was built by a local here who does woodworking, and we gave him a drawing of what we wanted. This is called it's not a farmhouse door. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure you're familiar with these type doors. It's got a little shelf on it there, and he built this, and it just turned out beautifully. We love it. It's a wide door. It's the widest door in the house. We made it 42 inches wide so that we could get furniture in and out of the house. But we just love it. Here's our front porch. That's looking to the west, out that way towards the shop. And then out to the east towards Fred up there on the hill. This is basically our evening porch in the summer evenings, but will probably be more of a winter porch because it's facing south. And in the heat of the summer, this porch tends to get a little hot. So in the winter, it'll be just fine. And there's our view from the to the south our view to the south, which is where the solar field is. And I'm going to check to see if Wendy's ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and Wendy says she's ready. So let's go verify that. Are you in there?
Out, so welcome to our house. So this is our, I don't want to be in it. Show them what's up.
Yeah.
So this is our table. We got a really big table because we like to entertain. We want our family to come up for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Our old family picture till we get a new one is up there.
And then,
this is Tom's room. He was asked to at least have one room in the house that he could decorate however he wanted. So I said, okay. It doesn't match anything in the house, but that's okay.
It's my area, and there's one of my favorite people right there, if you know who that is. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's go over here, the living room.
So living area.
Looks over all the hills out there, the valley. Our kitchen, I love. I had a really small kitchen before, living in the trailer for 3 years, no kitchen at all. So I'm loving cooking and trying to make bread and that fun stuff.
And we did all this work ourselves. The cabinets were called Ready to Assemble, RTA cabinets that we ordered online. They came in boxes disassembled. We assembled every one of them and hung every one of them, and it turned out very nice. We did all the tiling work and so on and so forth. It turned out very well.
Okay, so...
And there's our, tell them about our false beam.
Oh, yeah, our false beam. That took 3 of us to put up there.
Oh, and there's my pride and joy anyway. There's our wood burning stove, which I've always wanted. And it worked. We tried it out this winter, and it just works fantastic. It'll burn you out here.
Yeah, I get too hot, honestly, even in the winter.
Sometimes you have to open a window to let a little cool air in, but it will keep the house warm all night long. Okay, take over.
Okay, so that's our little area to entertain, our little cocktail cart, wine fridge. And here's our bedroom.
Here's the master bedroom.
Yeah, we like it. It's perfect. It's not too big, not too small, really cozy.
And we have a view out these windows at night. It's hard to see with the light, but we can see the lights of Porterville out this way. And then out this window towards the west, we can see the lights of Delano. And go ahead.
This is our bathroom, our master bath.
Let's turn the lights on.
2 sinks, what we haven't had in a long time, shower.
And that was one of the most difficult jobs of tiling. I've done tiling before, but never a whole shower, and it turned out well. But man, I don't ever want to do it again.
Yeah, and then my vanity. So I have all my makeup. I can do my makeup here.
With a view. See if we can get, yep, with a view.
And then a little toilet area there. And then our nice closet. Nice to be out of boxes finally.
Yep. Okay, let's go across to the... So it's split wing, obviously. So now we're going across to the other side. Two additional bedrooms, a bathroom, and a laundry room. There's our kids when they were babies. Bless their hearts.
1 guest bedroom with barn doors that Tom put in. They were really nice.
For the closets.
And then the nice view. This room has a really nice view out over the hills, the same as the living room.
Yep.
Nice view of the trailer, which...
So that's looking north. It's hard to see with the light, but...
It's kind of yucky out there today. There's fires around.
And then a nice view of our RV.
That'll be gone soon, I hope. Guest bath with the soaking tub. Laundry room, which I love. Lots of room.
Lots of storage.
And lots of storage. That's where everything's stored, really.
And a little storage closet
Oh,
over
yeah,
here.
storage closet. Then this is the other guest bedroom, my workout room / workout room. So there's a view right there to the trailer, and then the other to the south out here.
Yep. And that's about it for the house. We missing anything?
I don't think so. Out back is all.
So I'm going to go outside and show you one other thing, and then we will conclude. Be right back. Oh, thanks, honey. Forgot to show you the back porch. This is the back porch facing north. Wonderful view again. And this is our summertime patio. We have a porch. We have fans here, 4 fans. And here's the other side facing east. And here's our little mouse killing kitty that we've had since we've been up here. We inherited him from a neighbor, and we have since acquired another rescue cat who is a little bit more shy and hides out during the day. You probably won't see her, but this is my buddy right here. Oh yeah, you want your belly scratched, don't you? Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to show you a little bit more mechanical. Here's my back stairs that I love showing off. A little bit narrower, but one thing I forgot to mention about the solar is we had some issues when we first moved in the house when we started running this air conditioner. This is a 5-ton air conditioner, and it would trip the inverters on amperage faults. Not every time, but almost every time this thing would kick on, it would trip the inverters. And I thought, oh my gosh, well, how are we going to fix this? Well, it turns out, this is something I failed to calculate for when I designed the solar, was the startup amperage of this thing, what they call the locked rotor amperage. And this thing sucks 156 amps when it starts up, which is way more than what our inverters are rated for. So they would trip to protect themselves. And I got researching and found out that they make it's called Easy Start module that ties into the capacitors inside here. And it literally lowered the startup amperage from 156 amps down to 32 amps and solved our problem. So thank God for that. Another thing you may or may not be interested in is our water heater, which I know you've all heard of these tankless water heaters. This is the first time we've ever owned one, and we love it. And especially for the fact that this one has a built-in recirculation pump. So when we plumbed the house, we put in a dedicated hot water recirculation line that goes to the furthest fixture in the house, which is our master bedroom, and keeps hot water circulating throughout the entire system. So when you turn on a hot water fixture, you have instant hot water, whereas in my experience, if you don't have a recirc system, you can be waiting minutes for hot water to show up, and you're wasting water down the drain while you're doing that. So we love that, and it is programmable. We have access to it through an app, and we turn it off at night so it doesn't recirc, or we can put it in vacation mode so it doesn't recirc while we're gone. But it's the only way to go in my mind. Instead of heating water that you won't be using in a tank water heater, you won't necessarily be using. This is on demand. You only heat water when you use it, and you save on propane. I was just going to talk about the trailer a little bit. When we first had it placed here, you can see now it's on a bluff, and this was not a bluff when we placed it there. It was a gentle slope down here, but then we had the site excavated, which took all this dirt here and pushed it out to the north, out that way, and ultimately left this RV on a bluff. And almost everybody that comes up here asks us, how the heck did you get that thing in there? I said, well, it wasn't a bluff when we got it in there, but now how are we going to get it out? Because we don't want to keep it. We don't even have a tow vehicle for it. We had a friend deliver it up here for us, and we don't want it just sitting there turning into a rat-infested, mouse-infested RV. So I have a plan. Where there's a will, there's a way. I have to cut some of this dirt back here to flatten this out. I'll have to cut a couple of these smaller trees out, and we should be able to get a truck up here, hook into it, pull it down this way on top of the bluff, down the hill towards the solar plant, around, and there's a path up that way, and get it out behind the shop. So that's another one of my upcoming projects. So I think that's about all I wanted to relay to you, Pop, and it was good talking to you last night when I talked to you on the phone, and I hope you enjoy this. I hope it's not too long, and please give my love to my wonderful sisters and their equally wonderful husbands, and I hope that they can find time next spring, maybe, to come out for a visit. If they do, we'll treat them like royalty. And Pop, you take care of yourself, and I'll be in touch. I'll get this out to you in the next day or two, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.